All right, thank you for joining us on 5 News Online. We got your top headlines where you live. I'm Ruben Diaz. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the area. Now, today is the last day to register to vote in Arkansas for 2022 midterm elections. You can either turn in your paperwork in person or send it to them by mail, but it's got to be postmarked by today, right? We actually had a chance to speak to the Director of Elections in Washington County, Jennifer Price. She tells us they're encouraging everybody to visit the Arkansas Voter View website to make sure that all of their information is up to date before today's deadline.
Go look to see, am I registered to vote? If I am, do they have the correct address? Where do I want to vote at? And then review that sample ballot before you come to the polls on Election Day.
All right, once again, that website is called Arkansas Voter View. You can find a link to it on the Secretary of State's website to get all that information that you need. However, one thing you cannot do on that website is register to vote online, but you can find all the forms you need to register for November's midterm on that website. Looking ahead, the deadline to pay your property taxes is next Monday, which is October the 17th. So to get those paid, you have to visit their website. You see it on the screen right here. The address is portal.arkansas.gov/property tax center. But you might be easier just to Google Arkansas Property Tax Center, right? Just click on your county and then follow all the steps. After the 17th, you're going to get hit with late penalty fees. Could be as much as 10% of the amount you're supposed to pay. All right, let's take a look at the weather right now before we take a look at the other headlines. Meteorologist Zach Scott joining us now for an update on what you can expect outside.
Hey, thanks, Ruben. We got another chance for some spotty showers as we work through our Tuesday here today. We're going to have the added cloud cover around, some peaks of sun. And again, we're going to go about 30% chance of those scattered showers possible for all of 5 country here as we go throughout your Tuesday. Not going to be a washout. Not everyone's going to see the rain, but stuck in that similar pattern we were in on Monday, where we will have that chance for showers around throughout the day. So if you have the umbrella with it, you'll play it safe. You'll be ready to go if you do encounter one of those spotty showers. Outside of that, we are anticipating temperatures to be right back where we were yesterday, upper 70s across the area to some lower 80s across the river valley. So overall, a little mild for this time of year, but not too bad. We do stay mild overnight, well above average. Another night where we're in the 60s, but changes on the way. We'll experience those as we go through the day tomorrow. We're going to get the cold front to come in. It'll start to move through during the morning hours. We'll see a line of thunderstorms trying to develop along it. Best chance for rain is going to be in the first half of the day. And with that, we will have the threat for a few strong to severe thunderstorms. Again, widespread severe weather not anticipated, but we could see 1 or 2 strong storms with some gusty winds, maybe even a pocket of hail or 2. We'll be tracking this out for you over the next 24 hours. Again, we could see that line of storms moving through during your Wednesday morning, exiting by late morning, early afternoon with clear skies following behind.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Now, the Washington County Sheriff's Office has confirmed it's investigating a kidnapping attempt that happened over the weekend in Lincoln. According to investigators, it happened just before 6:30 on Sunday night. They tell us the suspect was a man with brown eyes. He was wearing a camo mask with sweats and a hoodie and was driving a maroon or red truck with white stripes. No details about the victim in the attempted kidnapping, and the condition as whether has not been released. If you have any information or think you could help investigators, call the Washington County Sheriff's Office. And Conway police tell us a man accused of a string of shootings, you see him on your screen right there, on Friday has died. According to police, the 32-year-old suspect shot 3 people, killing 2 of them. When officers eventually caught up with him, he was injured by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He later died at a nearby hospital. Meanwhile, Rogers police made several arrests for a series of violent crimes that sent 2 teenagers to the hospital. According to detectives, it happened last Thursday. That's when one teen was shot and another was injured with a blunt object. We've learned from police that both of those teens are now out of the hospital, and 7 arrests have been made in the case. 6 of those arrests are juveniles. 1 adult has been charged as an accomplice. Rogers police tell us that more arrests are expected as the investigation continues to move forward. And we do have an update to a story on Jonathan and Amber Stepp. We've been telling you about this out of Tallahena. They're the parents who say a Tallahena 5th grade teacher encouraged students to call their son an anti-gay slur after he was playing with another kid. The Stepps then went to the Oklahoma State Board of Education, which launched its own investigation. Now the school is actually integrating its 5th grade students whose classes had previously been separated by gender. 5 News reporter Michael Wilson spoke with Tallahena's school superintendent about the incident.
It feels like to me they're just doing the bare minimum. They're doing the absolute bare minimum that they can do to say, hey, we're doing what the state told us.
Parents Jonathan and Amber Stepp are frustrated with Tallahena Public Schools, saying more action should have been taken.
The state has told us we have handled this extremely professionally. We've done what we were supposed to do.
Tallahena School Superintendent Jason Lockhart says he cannot say much about the investigation, but that he had been in contact with the Department of Education throughout the process. Lockhart tells 5 News the alleged incident is the first for the teacher, and he's still employed.
I'll tell you that with the utmost certainty there has never been a complaint against this teacher prior to this of any kind that's come to the administration, both at the site or at the district level.
He should not be teaching children.
No, in any setting at all.
Other parents in the district agree.
It's despicable behavior by an adult. He's being paid by our tax dollars to abuse our children. He should be fired.
He is totally incompetent as an educator and has no empathy toward his students, has no business in the class.
Sarah Sharp and Michael Carroll say their kids are familiar with this teacher. Their daughter was in his class last year, and she says this is not an isolated incident.
And he said that, asked if he wanted us to play slur tag, and honestly, it shocked me a lot.
Monday was their son's first day out of that teacher's classroom and into an integrated one.
I was moved into the girl classroom, and it was pretty jarring.
But what the steps say is jarring is the school's response to the reported incident.
But that's why we had to go to the State Department, is talk to somebody who is not in the good old boy system here.
We're not bad guys. We're trying to do things right. We really are.
All right, we're learning more about the cases of avian flu detected by the Arkansas Department of Agriculture. They're the first confirmed cases in the state. Now, according to the Department of Agriculture, the cases were detected in Madison County on Friday, with the birds properly disposed of after that. Now, the cause of the cases is still under investigation, but the department does believe they were likely caused by wild birds. A Northwest Arkansas farmer went on to tell us that there are things you can do to prevent that virus by using city water and making sure that wild birds are kept out of the areas where chickens and turkeys live.
We have really healthy natural populations of waterfowl, of raptors, of just wild birds, and we've got a lot of farms. And so the fact that we don't hear more, I think, is just a testament to, you know, poultry farmers, regardless of how they do it, take it seriously.
Now, all poultry farmers are encouraged to watch for signs of avian flu and report any suspected cases to the Department of Agriculture. There is no public health concern, by the way, because avian influenza does not affect poultry, meat, or egg products, which remain safe to eat. October brings in all sorts of creepy creatures from out in the streets, and right here in Arkansas, that includes some of those with 8 legs. Got a warning for you, though. If you're squeamish, you may not like what you see. Here's 5 News reporter Jose Carranza.
It's humongous.
Lori Gold of Farmington says her family was out enjoying the day when they came across something spooky.
Husband noticed something moving in the driveway, and he looked, and it was the tarantula, and it kind of ran up underneath his pickup truck, and then he got a fly swatter and was trying to kind of get it out of there so he could kind of relocate it. The boys love critters and everything, creepy and crawly, so that was right up their alley.
It's something they haven't seen in the 5 years they've lived in Northwest Arkansas.
We used to see them all the time in Central Arkansas, but not here.
University of Arkansas entomologist Austin Jones says he became interested in tarantulas as a student here in 2007. He explains that the Ozarks is the furthest east and north that a tarantula native species can be spotted, all because of the habitat.
But in Arkansas, a glade is an area where the bedrock comes very near the surface, and so you don't have much soil on top of it. And so what that means is that soil gets very dry in the summertime, which is when tarantulas are raising their young.
Fitting for spooky season, males travel in October for mating season, but it's a rarity to see many in Northwest Arkansas, which Jones says is because of the heat.
I think that could have a factor playing into it, and I think that the fact that it's been so dry could be playing into that a little bit too. It's going to open up new habitats that they can utilize because they like that hot, dry stuff.
Dad, be careful.
While their fangs and irritating hairs could be of concern,
they really don't pose any danger to residents at all.
Jones considers any encounter with a tarantula his lucky day.
You're seeing something that has survived a long time. It's eaten a lot of bugs, a lot of pests along the way to get there.
In Farmington, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
Yeah, you're not going to catch me holding one of those bad boys. Jones went on to tell us it's best to leave the spiders alone. Yeah, but if you must move one, grab a bucket or container with a flat piece of cardboard. Once inside, flip the bucket, then relocate that spider. All right, don't forget we're doing our annual 5 News Give Where You Live food drive. It's happening right now. You can buy $10 or $15 donation bags that are already filled with non-perishable food items at any area Harps grocery store, or you can take canned goods to participating Armstrong Bank locations in Fort Smith. Give Where You Live is happening from now through October the 23rd. All right, those are some of your top headlines for today. We'll continue to follow all the news all day long. Catch up with us again this evening on your 5 News at 4, 5, and 6. I'm Ruben Diaz. Have a great day.